All right. Okay. It's 11:25 at night. I just finished a big long mountain bike ride and then basketball. And I wanted to make sure that I give you guys some content for Champs Club. So welcome to what I'm going to call as a Big Seven um, Champs Club. And in a second, I'm going to show you guys the way to get and to think about big orders. Okay, big orders. So remember to sell 27, $30,000 in a push, to sell 20K in a push, maybe a third of your orders or less are going to be the big fat orders, right? So the bulk of your orders are going to come from your normal demos, your normal like lists, your normal wish lists on, people that have Cutco, and I'm going to give you some tips on that. And the normal sales are going to come from selling starter sets and selling galleys and homemakers. You'll sell some signatures and homemaker and ultimate sets as well, complete sets, family sets, in other words. But I want to give you guys a couple of thoughts on getting to the big seven and how to think about getting big orders. Okay, so first of all, let's remember that in closing the sale, what you want to think about the philosophy of closing the sale is, as we all know, it is always about getting the right value price combination where the customer chooses to buy a set of Cutco today, right? Whether it's a $2,000 like list, a $2,000 set of Cutco, whether it's a $300 set of Cutco, a like list, or a $700 starter set. The philosophy is finding the right value price combination where the customer chooses to buy a set of Cutco today. You guys know the four steps. One, we build the value. Pages 1 through 8, we build the value. Page 8, we present the price with the twice the value, twice the quality, or twice the quality, twice the value. Sets are better. You go to the Wusthof comparison and you present the price and then you ask for the order. That's again page 8 and 9, right? And then page 9 through 12 is the drop down process. And I want to remind you guys that most people have to say no 2, 3, 4, 5, who knows how many times, but it's usually not the first time you ask for the order. It's normally not. And if it is, that's great. But most of the time, we all know it's not yes on the first try. That doesn't mean that they're a no on Cutco. It just means that value, that price that you gave them to start, whether it was the three set clothes, the ultimate set, the cookware, the flatware, and the ultimate set with a Cutco kitchen, you start with a $10,000 package. They're not going to say yes on that one, but they might do the signature set and the cookware. They might do the ultimate set and the flatware and leave the cookware for later, for the last day of the push. But but the fact is, most people have to think about it, and the way they think about it is actually saying no. And remember, no is next option. We don't want to worry about that's not no to Cutco. It's just no to that option. So dropping down, you're going to want to make sure you start higher, so it's why we talk about selling signature sets and ultimate sets and cookware and flatware. And that's why the big seven is a thing. Okay. So we're going to get to the big seven in a second. And then the first of the big seven on how to sell big orders is number one, and you're going to see this on the next slide when I show it to you, is all the knives, like everything in the catalog that isn't like cookware, flatware, ultimate signatures. Actually, it is ultimate signatures, but it's not the cookware, it's not the flatware. But anything in the catalog that's hunting, fishing, gardening, um, homemaker galley, signature, ultimate set, starter sets, like lists, 5 piece, 3 piece, buy three, get one free, buy two, get a peeler for free, and a 1 piece, reserve the buy now bonus. So all things knives, that is for sure where you get most of your like lists, right? And get familiar with selling the garden tools, get familiar with selling hunting and fishing knives, study the product details, come into the office, touch and use and hold the knives, right? Try cutting leather with a clip point outdoor knife or a gut hook or the hunting knife, the Cutco hunting knife. It's unbelievable, right? So the more Cutco you have, which is why you want to buy Cutco samples. And in the SLDM and also in the SC2 leadership meeting, we've talked about how to go on Vector Connect, go to All About Cutco, or just search in the search bar, buy Cutco samples, and you can buy an ice cream scoop for $12. You can buy a can opener for $13. You can buy a garden trowel for $9. You can buy 3 pieces of flatware, fork, spoon, and stainless steel table knife for $33. You could buy a gourmet set for like 200 and something dollars. You can buy the set of the cookware samples which is a 1.5 quart stock, I'll call it for a college kid, a ramen pan, a ramen pot, for $100. It's a $300 pot almost. You buy it for $100. So buy Cutco samples, have more Cutco to show, have more Cutco to show. So in getting into the big seven, okay, let's talk about getting to the big seven. All right. And the way to get to the big seven here, guys, is you got to realize that most of the time, okay, what you're going to want to do is realize that knives, like I just said 2 minutes ago, 3, 4 minutes ago, the number one way to sell Cutco, the one we teach you in 3 days of training, advanced training, everything we teach in Champs Club, for the most part, is all surrounding just the knives, right? Everything in the catalog. Okay. Now, a whole nother gamut of how to sell Cutco is to sell the Cutco cookware. To give you an idea, when Cutco was brand new, Cutco was actually the free stuff. Long, long time ago, 75 years ago, Cutco was the free stuff when people would buy wherever cookware. And wherever salespeople sold wherever cookware, and then they gave away these new funky cool knives, and then we started selling more Cutco. And then, frankly, wherever went the way of Walmart. And they started selling cheap wherever knives. But we've been making waterless, low moisture, high quality cookware that lasts 50 years, the high end cookware. And it's unbelievable. It has the same guarantee as Cutco. And it's absolutely phenomenal. And there's a whole workshop that we're going to teach you in the SC2 leadership meeting session number 2, how to sell cookware. It's absolutely awesome. It's got a 5-ply, 3-part aluminum core with stainless steel inside and stainless steel outside, but 3 layers of aluminum inside the pot and inside the lid. So you can actually bake a cake on the range. You don't have to even put the cake in the oven. You don't have to turn the oven on. You can bake a cake in the pan on the stovetop because the heat radiates through the pan in the aluminum core to where you only lose about 10 degrees from the bottom and the top radiating down and the sides radiating in. So it's an unbelievable, efficient way. The only thing better than aluminum to conduct heat and electricity is copper. That's why everything's copper wiring when you do electric stuff. And that's very, very expensive. So copper cookware is tens of thousands of dollars to buy pots and pans that are made of copper. Okay, so it's phenomenal. The Cutco cookware with the aluminum 3-ply core is unbelievable. And the cookware is a whole nother gamut. But a large set of cookware is almost $4,000. If you add the wok, if you add the larger stock pot and the griddles and the frying pans, extra frying pans, that is, it's a $4,000 order. And if you sold one of those in the whole summer, let alone one of those in a push, one order of cookware could massively impact a $5, $10, $20,000 push and a $30,000 push. When Nick Fiesler sold $27,000, I think he had at least 2 sets of cookware, if not more. Some of our top CSPs and high-level sales reps literally will focus on just selling cookware to the people they've already sold millions of dollars of Cutco to, and they'll sell 200, 300, 400 grand worth of cookware in a year. So again, when you're a new rep, even just 1 or 2 sets of cookware is baller. And who do you sell cookware to mostly? Who you sell cookware to mostly is going to be the previous customers. People that that you've already sold Cutco to, people that that bought Cutco 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the people that that trust you and trust Cutco. They have to trust you and they have to trust Cutco. So cookware, yes, you need to learn how to sell it. And when you're a CSP, a high-level sales rep, you definitely will sell more of it, but people that know you and trust you will buy the cookware almost sight unseen. But that's why I'm suggesting that you buy that $100 pan. And once you buy the $100 pan, you can buy the $200 sample cookware, which is as a gourmet frying pan and an 11.5-inch skillet with a lid. It's we have 3 of them at my house, the 11.5-inch skillet with the lid. It's unbelievable. And so cookware is awesome. So that's a whole nother gamut. And again, selling 1 or 2 of those orders in your push is going to be massive for a 10K, 20 or 30K push. The third of the big 7, guys, is the flatware. Just realize that flatware gets abused more than Cutco knives. Forks and spoons go down disposals. They go down and they get melted, they get bent, they get burned. Obviously, all stainless is not going to be that way, but the thermoresin flatware, right? The thermoresin flatware is going to get abused if they have it, and if they buy it in the month of July, pretty awesome. I think it is that we can do the flatware. Anyway, so selling Cutco flatware. The other thing that's awesome about the flatware, guys, is that it's a $500 discount. If you take the 12-inch, 12 setting uh, cherry wood chest, and you put it in the cart, and immediately you'll see the discount is $500. Yes, it's 1777. It's $100 more than a homemaker. Guys, think about it this way. The Homemaker Plus 8 has 18 pieces of steel. 18 pieces of steel. A 12 place setting set of flatware is 60 pieces of steel. And those 60 pieces get abused way more than knives. Forks and spoons get bent, broken, thrown down disposals all the time, jacked up. I think I've sent in 20 spoons in my cooking career, and they just replaced them for free. So the flatware guarantee is the same as Cutco guarantee, and it's unbelievable the way that they serve the customers. And so selling people the flatware, you're making them you're doing them a tremendous service when you sell them flatware. And just realize buying it as a set is the wisest investment. They can buy individual forks and spoons, which by the way is super rare. Most flatware companies will not let you buy things that way. They won't let you buy individual forks and spoons. But with Cutco, they can buy individuals. Also, we have a timeless design. So if you're taking notes, remember we have a timeless design. It doesn't go out of style. How many times have you seen a set of flatware that's like super like, dude, that's totally, maybe some of your college kids, you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. But designs of flatware change with time, and they get a little stylish or out of style, whereas Cutco's flatware is timeless. And it's going to be it's versatile, meaning it's elegant enough for nice occasions, but we use it every single day in my house, and it gets used, I mean, literally 10, 20 pieces in a meal, right? So just realize that that is the case. So flatware, again, as the cherry wood chest, plus there's the serving accessories. Again, we have a whole workshop on how to sell more flatware, but if you sell one set of flatware, two sets of flatware in your push, you might sell an extra 2 or 3 grand worth of flatware, and that's 2 or 3 grand towards a 10 or 15 or $20,000 push. So we're only on item number 3 in the big 3, and you might have 1, 2, 3, or 4 big fat orders, not even counting ultimates or signatures, right? Cookware, flatware, again, easiest sale for flatware is when they already have Cutco. They already trust Cutco. They've had Cutco for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whether they bought it from you or not. But even if they bought Cutco from you 2 months ago and they love their signature set, or they love their homemaker, they love their starter set, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, people will invest in Cutco because they like, know, and trust you, and you have big goals, and you've communicated those goals to family and friends. Okay. When they know that you're the right person, they know that you're going to bend over backwards to give them an awesome deal. The flour is an awesome deal at $500 off in the cherry wood chest, but sometimes people want 20 settings. They want more than 12. And so you can sell them 2 sets of flour. By the way, we've had people do that. Let me go back to Nick Fiesler. When Nick Fiesler sold 27, almost $28,000, he had 8 orders that were over 1,000. I think 6 of those orders were over $2,000. I am 100% certain that in the push, he sold 3 sets of flatware, 100%. It might be 4, but I know he said 3, he sold 3 sets of flatware. So selling a set or 2 or 3 of flatware might be to people you know, it might be people that you meet, it might be people that have had Cutco over 20 or 30 years. Okay, that is number 3 of the big 7. Now, gifts, the way I would look at gifts, guys, is gifts is a add-on, buy 4, get 1 free add-on to a homemaker. Hey, Mrs. Jones, you're going to do your wedding shopping this summer anyway. Let me save you time, money, and energy. Time, you don't have to go shopping on the registries. Money, I'm going to give you a great deal. And energy is you save energy never having to go out and go wedding shopping. So you're also not having to exert a lot of effort. Well, yeah, but they didn't register for Cutco. Mrs. Jones, everything they register is at Target. Tell me that Cutco's a less wise purchase or a less wise gift to give somebody than something from Target. And they're like, oh yeah. Oh, they registered at Bed Bath and Beyond. They registered at Nordstrom. If they registered at Nordstrom, they want quality. What should they give that couple who's getting married and registered at Nordstrom? They should give them Cutco, right? Like that's just a no-brainer. So how many weddings do you have this summer? How many weddings do you have? They're like 5. You say, great. You should totally save time, money, and energy. What I'll do is I'll have you buy 4 sets. I'll give you the fifth one for free. That set is $182. I'm saving you almost 200 bucks, and I'm saving you all the time and energy. And you're going to give the classiest, best gift you can give out of the entire pile of gifts that they're going to get for their wedding. You're going to give them the thing that's going to last them the longest. There's nothing they're going to get from their registry that's going to last as long as Cutco. And you look them in the eye and you tell them that. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And you know what? I like you, I know you, and I trust you, and I might as well add 5 gift sets to this order. Now, as I say this, and you're in Shams Club, you're like, dude, it's early. I don't think you know what you're talking about, Phil. You'd film this at 11 o'clock at night. I think you're cuckoo. Guys, if you talk about this, what I just said, the gifts program, in 40 presentations in a row, and you never don't bring it up, I guarantee you'll sell 1 or 2 orders where they'll add 5 gift sets. It's not going to be a high closing percentage. It's going to be a 10%, a 5% that you'll sell an extra $700 because you buy 4, get 1 free, or buy 3, get 1 free gift sets. But you do that twice, that's an extra $1,000 in sales. Do it 3 or 4 times with people you already know that like you and know you and trust you. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to spend the money anyway. That's what I would always say to people that are buying gifts. Mrs. Jones, look at me. You're going to spend the money anyway. But you know what? If you spend it with me, it's going to help me towards my goal. It's going to help me win a scholarship. It's going to help me towards my goal of selling $15,000. But you know what, Mrs. Jones? I want to earn your business, and I guarantee you're going to spend the money anyway. And this way you're giving them something that's bought once, used every day, never have to buy ever again. That's item number 4 in the big 7. Number 5. Number 5 is gifts. It's the kids program. Lynette Robertson in Springville, Utah in 1997. I showed up to her house. She had a Galley Plus 6. I started doing a service call, sharpening her Cutco. And she's like, oh yeah, I bought 2 other Galley sets. I was like, what? She's like, I bought 2 other Galley sets for my kids when they get married. By the way, she probably had a couple of 12-year-olds, like 12 and 13. Like her oldest kids were like barely teenagers, right? And I said, how many kids do you have? She's like, I have 5. And I'm like, you have 2 Galley sets for 5 kids? She's like, well, I'm going to pick up the other ones later. And it was this easy, guys. I literally said, do you really think Cutco is going to get less expensive? Or do you think it's going to get more expensive in the next decade? She's like, well, my kids are 2 years old, 3 years old. I go, do you think Cutco is going to get less expensive or more expensive? And she's like, more. And I said, why don't we just get 3 more Galley sets for all the kids so that they're ready and prepared? And she's like, yeah, you're right. And it was a 3 Galley set order. And it was because I raised the item, the issue. I brought it up. Okay. Let me go with another story of a previous customer of mine called me up. This is a couple summers ago. And she's like, hey, I want to buy all 5 of my kids some gifts. And I said, awesome. You know, what are you thinking? She's like, well, they're all married and they all have kids, and we've had Cutco for 30 years and we love it. And eventually I'm going to buy them all a homemaker set because I have a homemaker set. And maybe I upgraded her a signature set at some point. She might have a signature set. She goes, I want to buy them all the homemaker set. I go, well, that's awesome. Why don't we just do that? She's like, well, I'm not going to spend all that money at once. And then I said, well, here's the thing. Do all of your kids have spouses? And she just told me that they're all married. And then she's like, yeah. I go, so they all have an anniversary? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, they all have Christmas. She's like, yeah. Do you give them gifts for Christmas? Yeah. And do each of your kids have a birthday? Yeah. And do all of them have a spousal birthday? Do their spouses have birthdays? Yep. Do they all celebrate Mother's Day? Yeah. And do they all celebrate Father's Day? I said, you got Mother's Day, Father's Day. I got you what, your kid's birthday, you got her spouse's birthday, you got an anniversary, and you got Christmas. There's 6 holidays in a year that most grandmas, most moms will give their married kids something. And I said, listen, I'm going to save you 250 bucks per homemaker. If you put a homemaker set in the cart, you guys all know this, but you put a homemaker plus 8, that's 1613, put it in the cart. It's an $1,864 value. So when they buy a homemaker plus 8 off the top with nothing for free, they're already saving 250 bucks. So if you buy 5 of them, you're saving them 250 times 5. They're saving 750 bucks off the top before you even give them a discount. They're saving 750 bucks. Then You sell them four and give them one for free. That saves them $1,613 more beyond the 750. Guys, prove me now herewith. Put five homemakers, put four homemakers in the cart, put a fifth one for free. My kids think I'm crazy because it's 11:45 at night. I'm recording a Champs Club for you guys. Buy four homemakers, give one for free. I guarantee you in the cart, it's going to show you a, what is that, 1,600 plus 750. It's going to show you a 2,300, yeah, $2,300 discount. Now, 1,600 times four, right, is $6,400. No doubt about it, 6,400 and whatever dollars that is. But they're saving 2,500 bucks. They're getting a $9,000 order for 6,400. Tell me a planet where someone doesn't think that's a good deal. I don't know that planet. That's an awesome deal. By the way, I've done that one time in my career, that order. By the way, it took me 20 minutes. It was the easiest sale, but it was like hard, but it was easy. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna get, and I said, you give them the block and three knives on their birthday or Christmas. Everybody gets a block and three knives. They're gonna sit there in the Christmas and look at each other like, Mom gave us three knives and a block. Oh, we're gonna get the rest of the set later. Awesome. And they'll be fired up. That's what I told her to do. I go, give them three blocks and a knife and the block, give them three blocks, give them three knives in the block. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll do that. It was so easy. And by the way, I've done that one time in my career, but that's because I didn't bring it up most of the time. I did not bring that option up most of the time. But I'll tell you, if you bring up the kids' gifts program and they have five kids, they have four kids, they got seven kids, trust me, you might not sell four homemakers, get one free, but you can certainly sell four studio sets, get one free. Buy four galley sets, get one free. Buy three, get one free. I will tell you, we've had ultimate set sales like that. We've had a $23,000 order where grandma, some rich grandma in Utah, bought every one of her grandkids a set of Cutco. $23,000 order. So you got to be thinking bigger. What are we on? One, two, three, four, five. Six is a wild, wild west. Awesome opportunity, guys. Business gifts could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Real quick, I personally, as a division manager, have written up $50,000 in gifts orders on five orders out of 7 years with COVID in there. Five out of the last 7 years, I've had a one customer buy $50,000 worth of Cutco. And each year was around a $7,000 to $14,000 order. And it was a company, an electric utility company here in Salt Lake Valley, not even a couple miles from the office. And they're giving their top 40 employees. One year it was pizza cutter, ice cream scoop, and like a three-piece set of knives in a gift box. So three knives, a pizza cutter, and an ice cream scoop, all five pieces of Cutco. They stuck those pieces of Cutco in a Yeti cooler, which if you don't know, Yeti coolers are like $400 or some ridiculous amount of money. And they're really cool, coolers. And they stuck some other stuff. And then one year they did eight steak knives. So what is that? 90 bucks times eight. That's $700 multiplied by 40. And then they gave a discount. So it was not 28,000 bucks, right? But it was a discount and the CPO was pretty hefty. Still five-figure CPO, right? In the 14 or $16,000. And one year it was something else. And one other year was something else. And by the end of four or five orders, they had like themselves, they had each of their employees getting like a homemaker set of knives with the entertainer pack, basically. So, business gifts, and by the way, that's just one. Last fall, in October for the SLC push, SLC is Strategic Leadership Conference. We had a guy in our office, Cameron, sell 900 pairs of scissors. 900. Do the math on that. It's 100K. Now the CPO is not 100K, but it's 100K value that the customer got for a sick deal. Okay. Business gifts can be massive. Now, business gifts could also be, I sold 100 pocket knives my first summer. I sold 100 pocket knives to someone. They put ITMC. It was four letters engraved on every knife. Cost them 10 bucks a knife. And they gave 100 pocket knives away to employees and clients. And 100 pocket knives. It's not even that big of an order. Back then it was like 40 bucks a pocket knife. So it's not even like only like a $4,000 order. I was flipping out. I was making 40% of that. I made 1,600 bucks on that order. right? That was awesome, but it wasn't even that big of an order. If you don't think about business gifts, you're not going to sell. If you don't think about the kids program, if you don't think about the cookware, if you don't think about the flatware, you're never going to sell it. And that's okay. You could sell a buttload of Cutco just on knives. But if you open your mind and get a little knowledge on cookware and flatware, think about selling buy four, get one free pizza cutters, buy four, get one free trimmers, buy four, get one free cheese knives, buy four galley sets, buy four starter sets, buy four whatever sets, get one free, whatever, buy three, get one free sometimes. Business gifts, open your mind to business gifts, right? Open your mind. Again, anything but real estate, anything but mortgage agents. So mortgage agents and real estates, guys, is a $40 million package of Cutco sales that we sell a year, 40 million bucks. So when you have one customer, one client, hopefully blood relative, mom, dad, and someone really close to you that just wants to buy from you, if you engrave any real estate professional or mortgage professional's name and number on Cutco, they'll give you a one-time exception and they'll let you place orders for that customer. But the rest of those orders are going to get problem ordered. And so you have to send those orders to Faith Perkins, Quentin Israelson, Noah Anderson, one of our local CGPs, closing gift professionals. Okay, like CSPs, only it's closing gift professionals. They will do two things. They will sell your customer more Cutco because they'll do a better job. They'll serve the customer better. They'll take care of their needs. They'll save them money. So we want them to be the people that do the orders, number one. And then two, they'll give you 5% more than you would have made. 5% more than you would have made. Until you get qualified to sell to those people, that's the way you got to do it. Hey, wrapping things up, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say when it comes to building like lists, you want to get good at these two questions. How many and what else? How many spatula spreaders? I remember when the Ultimate set first came out, it was only 1,500 bucks, by the way. The Homemaker was 800. The Ultimate set was 1,500. And I sold this lady an Ultimate set. My CPO on the Ultimate set, the $1,500 Ultimate set, the CPO was $2,700 on that order because she bought tons of stuff on top of the Ultimate set. And it was because all I did is I shared how many of those do you want? I shared what the pizza cutter did. She bought six. One for her, one for her five married kids. So everybody got a pizza cutter. I talked about some other stuff and she added on and added on and added on. When you talk about how many and what else, you can build like lists, not just to 750 bucks. You can build them to 2,750 bucks. You can build like lists to 5,750 bucks. So the more you talk about how many and what else, pop up once in a while you're going to sell. They're like, you know what? I need two sets of cookware, one for this house, one for the other house. And you didn't even know they had another house. But when you say how many and what else, you'll add to the order. And then last couple things, guys, remember when they buy Cutco, have them take their old Cutco and throw their knives in the box that they just got and send it back to the factory and have them get their knives serviced. Okay. And when you're talking about big like lists, when you're talking about big orders, when you're talking about all these different options, guys, what you want to do is you want to paint the picture. Ms. Jones, you'll never have to buy knives there again. It'll look amazing on your counter. You're going to be so stoked. I can't even believe how awesome your kitchen's going to look. And paint that picture. Remember, they're looking for your reassurance. They're looking for it. You got to deliver it. You got to show them and reassure them it's a smart purchase, that they'll enjoy it, they'll love it, and they'll be happy with it. Okay. Because they're looking for your confidence and they're looking for your belief in the value that they're getting. If they believe and they like and they know and they trust you, and then you get them to have confidence in the purchase, it's actually really, really easy to sell big orders. Remember, Nick Fiesler, though, he got 8 orders that added up to 14 grand of a $27,000 push. So forget those 8 orders, forget them. Forget the 14 grand. He had 29, I think it was, or 30 other orders. But guys, that was 13 grand. He still had a $13,000 push with no fat orders. Not one order over 900 bucks on the other 30 some orders. But the 8 orders was half of his CPO. 8 orders was half of his CPO. 30 other orders was 300-400 bucks a piece, right? And so when you have even just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders that are $1,000+ that's $5,000 to $10,000 just on 5 or 7 or 8 orders or whatever. And then the other 15 to 30 orders that you get in your push being 200, 100, 100. $700, $800, $500. At the end of the push, you'll be very excited about the results. Okay, guys. So the big seven, the knives, get familiar with everything Cutco. Two is cookware. Three is flatware, and get familiar with both of those. Four is gifts like weddings and showers and birthdays. Five is kids' gifts because I'll spend more on my kids than I will on the neighbor's kids. I'll spend more on my kids than I will on some kid in the ward or in the church or whatever. And then six is business gifts. And then seven is real estate gifts. And I want to remind you, guys, you may sell one or two or five of those out of a 40 or 50 or 60 demo month. 70 or 80 demos in a month, right? Or 70, 50 demos in a push, right? But when you have your mind open to all big seven items, you'd be surprised how fast you sell them. Guys, thanks. Peace.